You're tuned in to the Behind the Ears podcast with Uncle Danny and Mr. Chris, because everybody does Disney differently. The Behind the Ears podcast crew would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. Hey everybody, it's Mr. Chris, and I got to tell you about Expedition Roasters. Listen, I'm a pretty big coffee drinker, just like a lot of you are, but these people have got coffee right. Their coffees are made from selectively sourced premium and specialty grade Arabica beans. They provide the absolute best flavor and aroma, and select roast even come directly from a single estate farm for a truly perfect cup that is never bitter. They've got awesome Disney-inspired flavors such as Roundhouse Roast, Route 66, Skipper's Brew, Dark Side Roast, Redhead Rum, and one of my favorites, Bob Slitter's Brew. Listen, if you want to have the taste of Disney in every cup, give them a try today. ExpeditionRoasters.com, and Behind the Ears podcast listeners gets an extra 20% off your first order by using the coupon code EARS20. That's right, EARS20. And you can find them over at ExpeditionRoasters.com. Brew your happy place. If you have a little one and you're going to Walt Disney World, you're going to need a stroller. I'll tell you what, KingdomStrollers.com is the place where you want to look into. I'll tell you, I've destroyed my fair share of strollers while at Walt Disney World, and those things are not cheap. But getting something from KingdomStrollers.com, they'll be able to help you pick out the perfect stroller for you. And the nice part is that because they're a Disney preferred provider, they'll be able to drop it off and pick it up right from your Disney resort at no extra charge. So if you don't want to necessarily destroy your stroller in the process and you want to have a great Disney vacation with your little one, contact KingdomStrollers.com and they'll set you right up. That's KingdomStrollers.com.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Ears podcast. I am Uncle Danny. That is Mr. Chris. Sir, how you doing?
I don't know if it's going to be a good show or a bad show if we start with the giggles right off the forefront. I am doing really well on this Friday Eve. I'm really glad to be here. And I got to tell you, thank you, everybody, for joining us for Feature Thursday. And this is gonna be a great show. People have been asking us to do this since Danny announced this like last Monday, and people were like, "Oh yeah, we've got to do this on Tuesday." And then we said, "Well, we're gonna hold off on what we talked a little bit about my last trip, and kind of build up the suspense, build it all up, and." Tonight, Danny is going to go through the menus for the 2018 Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. And I got to tell you something. I just ate dinner, and I'm hoping that will prevent me from wanting to get up in the middle and go grab a snack. Because I already saw some of the menu items, and oh my gosh, I think this is going to make people really super hungry. So if you're listening to this, you're watching us, make sure you at least have a snack, at least a drink with you, because it's gonna make you hungry. So Danny, how are you doing?
Well, I'm sorry. There's a couple of comments that gave me the giggles, but I'm doing well. It's a Thursday night. The Friday Eve, we are pumped. I've been dying to do this episode, and I know we're going to get some slack because it's big. Uncle Danny just read from the screen the entire time. Well, I'm reading you food options, people. So let's start. All right. How about Active Eats? We were just talking about cheese. We're stacking up right off the top. Loaded mac and cheese with pepper bacon, cheddar cheese, peppers, and green onions. Take my money.
I'm kind of sitting there thinking to myself, mac and cheese, it's good. It's comfort food. Bacon, a staple of American hunger.
Pepper bacon.
pepper bacon is even better because it has a little bit of bite to it, a little of that darkness pepper to it. But add in green pepper and what else? Oh, cheddar cheese.
No. It was once again loaded mac and cheese with it's actually New Essex pepper bacon, cheddar cheese, peppers, and green onions.
Green onions, excuse me. Boy, that if we go down there to do this, that's the first thing we're hitting.
Okay, so let's just touch on that real quick because I feel like that's going to be a question that's going to blow up the screen. Yes, we are trying to be there during this time period. This is literally last minute. This was literally Chris's idea on, I think, Monday or Tuesday this week.
It was Monday.
So we've been working out some dates, working out money, and there is a shot that, and Mr. Chris is going to tell you when we're going to be there. There is going to be a shot. You will have an announcement soon whether or not we are going with dates. But there is a chance that we're going to try to save some shekels and go down there and eat as much of this food as we possibly can.
Well, you know that after we sell all the plasma that we can possibly sell, we have to go somewhere to refuel, to have our bodies rebuild all the blood that we sold. So, I mean, we're really trying. We're going to really try it. But seriously, though, that's the first place we're stopping.
Okay. Also at this stand, we have a spice-crusted Verlasso salmon with warm lentil powder salad, crushed avocado with a sherry vinegar.
How do you crush avocado, though? It's more like you squish avocado.
Unless it's diced very thinly.
Yeah, but you don't crush avocado.
Well, I mean, it's just mush when you really think about it. We also have the Active Eats Energy Bar Bites, a mixture of chocolate, nuts, dried fruit. I'm probably going to pass on that one.
Dried fruit part, I don't know. Chocolate?
I mean, I don't really want an energy bar while I'm there. I want steak.
You want protein.
Yeah, and potatoes, starch. All right, so beverages at this. We have an MIA beer, which is... there's a bunch of other things that don't really matter. It's basically a pineapple coconut hard sparkling water.
You know what?
From Doral, Florida.
I've had hard sparkling water before. Unfortunately, it's not my taste. I've tried it. I'd probably bypass it, but it is very light. It's very refreshing, but it's not really one of my things. I think I'd rather have something with a little bit more body. Not saying it. I'm saying not. Hey, listen. I haven't tried it, obviously, but I've tried others. Not necessarily my thing.
We also have a La Cole number 41, Old Vines from Columbia Valley. It's a Blanc. Not a big fan of Blanc. Evolution by Sokol Blosser. It's a Pinot Noir from Oregon. Honestly, from the Active Eats, definitely going to have to try that loaded mac and cheese. But after that, I'm really not feeling anything off that menu.
I would try the salmon. I mean, it would be one of those cases where I think I would definitely try that salmon. I know you're not a big fish person.
Oh, I love fish. I actually just don't. I'm not a big salmon person, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be other fishes on here that are going to be worth the try. But all right, so we'll put a check mark definitely next to the loaded mac and cheese.
There's going to be other fish around the sea.
You see what I did there? Yeah. And we'll put a question mark next to the salmon. But I'd say beverages, nothing. I'll be drinking water throughout that one. The energy bar, we're going to skip. Let's go over to banging some drums over in Africa. We have a Burby-style beef tenderloin tips with onions, jalapenos, tomato, and pap. I'm not sure what pap is. P-A-P.
Oh, pap is kind of like I don't want to call it a porridge, but it's let's see. It's kind of it's almost like grits. It's got the consistency of like grits type. It's almost like a combination of think of it as something almost soupy but kind of really thick. That's the only way I could really describe it. Okay. If you've ever eaten over at Boma, over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, they do have pap, and it's really good. It's really good. So that actually sounds interesting. I like beef tenderloins. I like tenderloin tips. So that's something I would definitely say I would try.
Let's see. We also have a spicy Ethiopian red lentil stew with vegan yogurt and.
I think the lentils is probably something if I'm going to try, and I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. I would try it towards the end of the trip.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
because I don't,
Africa, man, they're always dropping the ball here. That was all they have for food.
Really?
They've got 4 beverages. I'm going to read through them quickly.
2 food, 4 bevies? Oh, my gosh.
Excuse me?
2 food, 4 bevies?
Yeah. They've got a Cedarburg Chenin Blanc, a jam jar sweet Shiraz, which I would be interested in trying, a Groot Constantina Pinotage, whatever, or the Wine Flight. I don't like red wine. And I don't like sweet wine. I like wine, but I like very dry wine. So a Wine Flight's not going to probably work. But that jam jar sweet Shiraz sounds kind of good because it's not really technically a wine. I'd be interested in it. Moving over, we have the Almond Orchard hosted by Blue Diamond and Almond Breeze. I'll tell you what, Almond Orchard and Blue Diamond make some good stuff. I don't understand why they have a booth, but let's keep going. I actually like the first couple of words I see. Creamy spinach and artichoke dip with pulled chicken, toasted Blue Diamond almonds, Parmesan cheese, served with a nut-thin cracker. I would be interested in that.
I would also be very interested in that. It actually really sounds good. In fact, that almost sounds like you can almost recreate that at home. I mean, that sounds so simple, but yet sounds so delicious.
This next one sounds good, but one of the items hurts my body a little bit, so be careful with it. Fire roasted tomato hummus topped with Blue Diamond lightly salted roasted almonds, served with Blue Diamond artisan nut thins, multi-seed crackers. Hummus hurts me a little bit, but that kind of, it just sounds like hummus and crackers.
That's really what it sounds like. I would probably bypass that. I mean, I like good hummus, but that sounds like, it sounds like it would be good, but I don't think it'd be the first thing I'm going to try.
Now this could be money.
What?
A banana almond soft serve sundae with fresh berries and chocolate almond streusel.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Excuse me. That kicked into salivary glands.
Before I started this, I literally said, "Wow, I'm not gonna like this booth." I'll tell you what, 2 out of the 3 I definitely need to have. And moving into their drinks, I'm liking what I'm seeing. First item to drink: Almond Breeze strawberry smoothie, non-alcoholic. Sign me up.
It sounds very sweet. I'd probably take a taste of it.
They've got a Mayotte Brut champagne, which I will stay far away from. They've got another champagne, a Dom Perignon champagne.
Why would you stay away from champagne?
I don't like champagne.
Really? But it's a dry sparkling wine.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially because I've only had Dom Perignon, and it's been like, all right. And they also have a Brut Rose champagne. So they're heavy into the champagnes. But I'll tell you, man, that strawberry smoothie sounds like it could be good.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I like a good champagne. I've had Dom Perignon before, and to be very honest, yes, it was good. Maybe I just don't taste the difference between Dom and other sparkling whites. I just don't have that kind of sourish taste to it. I don't know.
Moving up is Australia. We have a grilled sweet and spicy bushberry shrimp with pineapple, pepper, onion, and snap peas. Yeah, you take the snap peas out, and that sounds good.
I think I've tried that before. I want to say I tried that. I tried that at one of the other festivals within the last year or so.
And we will see repeats.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it was really, really good. The only downside to that particular dish was that I think they ladled in a little bit too much like broth, and it kind of made it a little bit difficult to really enjoy while walking, I should say. But it was had a lot of really good flavor to it. And while you may not like the snap peas, I thought the snap peas really added to it. It was really good.
And it's funny because I know I've eaten this next item because I asked for them to change it up for me. It's a grilled lamb chop with mint pesto and potato crunchies, and I asked them to take the mint pesto off top, and they did.
Yeah, I'm not a big mint person.
Not a mint.
I mean, I like lamb. I'm just not a big mint person.
Love lamb. They also have a lamington, which is a yellow cake dipped in chocolate and shredded coconut. I will stay away from that.
You don't like the coconut?
I don't like the coconut.
Okay.
But I will get that lamb chop. Beverages, we have a Cooper's Brewery Original Pale Ale, a Hope Estate, a Franklin Taste Estate Chardonnay. We have a McLaren Vale and another wine flight for choice. Okay.
And which area was
this? Was Australia.
Australia. Okay.
And this next one, I always buy a few things from. Let's move over to Belgium. We have a beer braised beef served with smoked Gouda and mashed potatoes. Check mark, please.
Oh, that sounds very Gouda.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
We also have a Belgian waffle with warm chocolate ganché and whipped cream. Another check mark. There's actually a picture of me eating that, by the way.
I bet you any money that puts, that puts what you can get over at the Magic Kingdom to shame. That really just sounds way too good to pass up.
Yeah, and then they have another Belgian waffle with berry compote and whipped cream, if you prefer that over chocolate.
Okay.
We have a flight of... Oh, excuse me. This is all... They have a beer flight, and included in that beer flight or purchased separately, you can have a blonde Belgian pale ale, a Witte beer, and also an ABT 12. They also have a hard cider from Stella, and chilled coffee featuring Godiva chocolate liqueur.
Ooh. Oh. For some reason, I think I would try that. I would try that.
I would actually try that beer flight. That sounds good.
The thing is, I mean, there's a lot of beers from Belgium, etc. that it's just really, really super good. They're very flavorful and they're not too heavy. So that's just my 2 cents.
And everybody in our Hispanic heritage, I apologize as we move to Brazil because I will be butchering everything on this menu, but I will also be enjoying most of the things on this menu. We have a Brazilian seafood stew featuring scallops, shrimp, and white fish with coconut lime sauce and steamed rice.
Yes, please.
That darn coconut is coming back. This is what I'll be getting is a crispy pork belly with black beans, tomato, and onions.
Hold the onions, and I'd probably go back for seconds in that one.
I can ask for your onions on my side.
Okay.
And then we also have a Brazilian cheese bread, which cheese and bread. I mean,
you can't go wrong.
Yeah. We also have another MIA beer company, which is a black beer. We have a Brute Rose, a Duro Red, and I cannot read the bottom one, but it's a frozen drink. I apologize. For anybody just joining us, we are currently on like 4 or 5. We're deep into this year's 2018 full menu for Epcot Wine and Food Festival. It will be taking place from August 30th through November 12th. So far, we have done a Active Eats, Africa, the Almond Orchard hosted by Blue Diamond Almond Breeze, Australia, Belgium, and we have just finished Brazil. We'll be moving to a booth that only sells liquor, and that is called the Brewers Collection.
Yeah.
They've got a Pilsner Unfiltered by Radenberger. They've got a Hacker Hefe Weiss. Though this is the pomegranate beer from how do you say that? Schaffenheifer. You've seen the beer. We've talked about it on the show. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what brand you're referring to. They're the ones that make the grapefruit beer.
Okay, yeah. And they also have a beer flight. Now, the long and anticipated Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. You always take all my money. We've got a Canadian cheddar cheese and bacon soup served with a pretzel roll.
Oh, yes, please.
And let me tell you, it's delicious, and it's on our Instagram. We also have a wild mushroom beef filet mignon with truffle butter sauce, also on our Instagram. You can tell we put money into this place.
Oh, seriously? I mean, that stuff just sounds amazing.
It's delicious. Beverages. They have a lager infused with grapefruit, grape, and lemon juices from New Brunswick. They've got a red blend, and that is it. This one's for you. Ready for this?
Okay.
The next booth. The Cheese Studio. We have a braised beef stroganoff with tiny egg noodles, wild mushrooms, boursin garlic with fine herbs, and a cheese sauce. Yes, please.
Yeah, I would definitely give that a try.
We have a cheese trio. Profiterole topped with Bowersen. I knew this was going to happen. That's why I hate reading these menus. Anyway, well, we got a cheese topped with garlic and fine herb cheese and orange apricot jam, smoked salmon pinwheel with shallot and chive cheese and everything seasoning, strawberry macaroon with pepper cheese. It's a lot of different cheeses.
That's
but a lot of this
I
pepper
mean,
cheese, and I kind of like pepper cheese.
I do too. And the only thing I think of when I think of all this cheese, I'm like, you got to balance it out somewhere. You know.
No, you don't. We have a maple bourbon cheesecake with maple bourbon cream, caramel, and pecan crunch. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Beverages: Florida Orange Grove's Winery Sparkling Blueberry Wine, Pinot Gris, and another one from Alta Vista Estate Malbec. I think that's a beer.
I hate to say this, but there's a lot of different beers, different wines. I'm not a big beer connoisseur. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I will definitely try some of these, but I will probably like take a sip and say, "Here, Danny, finish the rest of this." I mean, because I'm not a big drinker, and I know what will happen if I drink more than a couple of these things within a couple hours. I mean, Mr. Chris is going to get as red as the Behind the Ears podcast logo. I'm just going to get really red. I keep telling people it's absolutely true. Only time I ever have a drink is when I'm at Epcot, and like it's usually once a year. This time it was twice a year, so I've already outdone my usual quota. So we'll have to see how this goes.
And China, I usually spend a lot on, and we are moving into China here. We have a pancake with beef in it. I'll try it.
Pancake with beef, is that more like a pigs in a blanket type of thing?
I don't know. It just says pancake with beef.
I'm willing to try it.
We have chicken dumplings with Chinese slaw. Always get them. Super good. This is another go-to. Roasted duck bio bun with a little bit of their sauce on it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I would so do that.
And then we also have a black pepper shrimp with garlic noodles. So what you're telling me is everything on China we're getting. Okay.
Spend some time in China.
China will get some fair time. For beverages, we have a mango bubble tea with Assam black tea and milk that is non-alcoholic.
That sounds
They've got a jasmine draft beer, a happy peach, a peach liqueur, and dark rum. I'm getting this one. It's called the Kung Fu Punch. It's vodka and triple sec. No more, as needs to be said.
Wow. Vodka and triple sec? Dude.
I like vodka. And
you do realize that's like 2/3 of a kamikaze.
Oh, I love kamikaze. Don't get me started on kamikazes, okay?
The only thing else you need for a kamikaze is some Rose's lime juice, and you've got it made.
So, my sister got married in Disney, and we had the rehearsal dinner at the Grand Floridian.
Right.
And on the boat dock where the yacht was, we had the party outside. We ran out of shot glasses because I kept ordering just numerous rounds of kamikazes for everybody, that they actually started bringing out coffee cups to serve us shots in. And you're talking only a couple, maybe 35 people, 40 people tops. And they ran out of shot glasses. Good story. We also have another punch here. It is Chinese Baijiu spirit with coconut and pineapple juice, and a honeydew cocktail with Chinese Baijiu spirit and honeydew syrup. For you chocolate fans out there, we're moving over to the chocolate studio. We have a liquid nitro chocolate almond truffle with warm whiskey caramel.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
We also have a sweet dark chocolate raspberry tart with whipped cream.
Isn't
Honestly,
to say sweet dark chocolate? Isn't that kind of a contradiction in terms?
yeah, I'm not impressed with either of those.
I think I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind is that there's a lot going on in those particular dishes, those two particular desserts.
Yeah. Beverages. We have a Twinings pumpkin spice chai tea with chocolate shake. That's a non-alcoholic. We have a sparkling red, a Sauvignon, a Croft 10-year tawny. No idea what that is. Once again, assuming a beer. And then we also have a Twinings pumpkin spice chai tea frozen cocktail with caramel vodka. Honestly, I would be perfectly okay with not hitting that stand.
It all just seems like very sweet alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, maybe on the tail end.
Maybe so. But I think it would almost like, I don't know. I just think that if you drink too much while you're doing this, you're not going to really be able to enjoy the actual eats. It's almost like you have to do one round for all the eats, and then you select a few beverages as you walk around the latter part of the day to the evening.
Yeah. Up next is the coastal eats. This is probably more in my neck of the woods than it is. We have a lump crab cake with cabbage slaw and avocado lemongrass cream.
Okay. I'd do that.
We have a baked shrimp scampi dip with sourdough baguette. I will do that as well. We have seared scallops with roasted corn, butter bean squash, and chili chipotle butter sauce.
Ooh.
Sign me up.
Ooh, yeah.
Pinot Grigio and a Pinot Noir. Okay. Coastal Eats, you've got my money. You in China so far, killing it. For all you beer drinkers, we have the Crafts Beer. It's Central 28 Beer Company Waffle Ale, Bold City Brewing 1901 Roasted Red Ale, a Florida Beer Company Passport Triple Chocolate Milk Stout. Oh, God. First Magnitude Brewing Company Lemongrass, a J Dubs Brewing Company Honeydew Melon, Shipyard Brewing Company Monkey First IPA, and your choice of two distinctive beer flights.
Okay, let me go ahead and mention something here. When it comes to beer, I wish they would have a program where you could just carry around a little itty bitty mini, beer stein that would hold like maybe an ounce. Okay. And then you could just get a taste of some of these before you actually commit to an actual serving of some of these beers. Some of them sound really interesting.
But you don't know.
But you don't know. And I don't want to necessarily spend $8 to $10 on a brew that I'm going to be like, here, Danny, you drink this. I just don't feel like.
And I don't like beer that much to be like, oh.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I know you like wine. Certain wines. I am more of a beer person, and I like ciders especially. But the fact of the matter is that I would love to taste what some of these are like. I just don't. I don't know. I have a commitment problem when it comes to beer. So it's as simple as that.
As I like to refer to people as the hippy dippies, we have the Earth Eats. It's just an inside family joke, but the Steakhouse Blended Burger. It's blended beef and wild mushroom slider with brie cheese fondue, arugula, truffle, and blue cheese potato chip on a brie bun. Okay, take my money.
Oh yeah, I'm in for that.
The Impossible, and that Impossible is trademarked. Burger slider with wasabi cream, spicy Asian slaw on a sesame seed bun. Once again, take my money.
Oh, so much. In fact, you know what? Can I have some of that wasabi stuff on the side too, please?
Oh, yeah. For beverages, we have a Pink Lady apple, a pomegranate, a beet lime, or just a flight. Moving on over, we have the Festival Center for Wine Shop, and they do offer food. We have a chef's selection of artisanal meats. Oh, God, that sounds wonderful. I wonder what type of meat it is. It's cured meat. It's good for me.
It doesn't matter. It's artisanal. It's cured. It's meat. I mean, it's got to be good.
This place has got my money. And they got a cheese plate.
Okay, so one of us buys
Gorgonzola is on this cheese. Vino Rosso cheeses. All right, so just take my money. Okay. And they have a Bloody Mary seafood cocktail, shrimp, bay scallops, mussels, olive salad, and crisp lettuce in a Bloody Mary vinaigrette. Wow.
I'm so all over that.
I'm over this whole place right now.
Oh my
All right.
gosh,
Moving
that sounds
to their
delicious.
extremely long wine list. We have a Santa Barbara County Pinot Grigio, a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chardonnay, a Golden Chardonnay, a Pinot Noir, a Birdie Pinot Noir, a Summit Pinot Noir, a Fantasia Sauvignon Blanc. That one I can't pronounce. Another Sauvignon Blanc.
You know that if you can't
They
pronounce
also
it, it's
offer
gotta be good.
what?
You know, if you can't pronounce it, it's got to be good.
If you can't pronounce it, you can't afford it. There's also a white flight, a Pinot Noir flight, and a red flight. So pretty dope. All right, flavors from Fire.
Fire.
You've got me hooked already. Oh my god, yes. Okay, so me and Nick went to this place, and the first thing I'm about to tell you, it's delicious. Okay, first thing up, piggy wings. They're roasted pork wings with Korean barbecue sauce and sesame seeds.
What are pork wings?
It's just pork on a bone.
Oh, okay.
But they're just small and they look like little buffalo wings. They're so good. Smoked corned beef with warm, crispy potatoes, pickled onions, blonde ale beer fondue featuring romaine and American Grand cheeses. Delicious. We have a charred skirt steak on a smoked corn cake with pickled vegetable slaw and aioli. And also a chocolate piccante, which is dark chocolate mousse, cayenne pepper, chili powder, and mango.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes, Lindsay says it properly. They had me at artisanal meat. Any cured meat, you were out, my friend. We also have an Orlando Brewery Smoking Blackwater Porter, a Michael David Winery 7 Deadly Zins Zinfandel, and Swine Breen featuring Jim Beam Bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so just recapping, everybody, if you're just joining us once again, thank you for joining. We are doing a full menu for the 2018 Wine and Food Festival going on from August 30th through November 12th. We have touched on Active Eats, Africa, the Almond Orchard hosted by Blue Diamond Almond Breeze, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, a Brewers Collection, Canada, the Cheese Studio, China, the Chocolate Studio, Coastal Eats, Craft Beers, Earth East, the Festival Center Wine Shop, Flavors from Fire so far. So pretty good. Moving on to France. And France, they disappointed me because they used to have one of the best escargots you can get around in a tray. But they still offer the escargot. But unfortunately, the escargot are located inside a croissant with garlic and parsley.
Oh, that's not fair. You have to eat it out of the little tray.
Yeah, it's too much bread.
I mean, I'd like to have some bread on the side with it. But yeah, I agree with you.
We also have a beer braised beef with bacon, onion, and mashed potatoes. And then we have a creme brulee with house-made raspberry jam. Moving on to their famous drinks here, we have the Passion Martini Slush, which is vodka, Grey Goose, citron, cranberry, and passion fruit. They also have a Chardonnay, a Cabernet, a sparkling wine, and a fantastic beer called 1664 Pale Lager.
I'd go for a pale lager. I would.
It's a really good beer. It's very light.
Yeah. I mean, and
now don't get me wrong. Isn't this where the Grand Marnier slushes, though?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I thought it was in France, and I do not see it on the list. Interesting. We'll have to go find out. Germany. If you're going to Germany and you want some beer, get there early because it gets popping.
Really?
Food. They have a pasta gratin with ham, onions, and cheese, roasted bratwurst, and a pretzel roll, and an apple strudel with vanilla sauce. They have a couple pilsners, and they also have a Riesling flight. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 4 beers, 1 wine, and then an entire Riesling flight. So Greece. Ooh. Oh boy, look at Greece here. Loaded Greek nachos, pita chips, meatless sausage. What? What is meatless sausage? How do you have sauce without the meat?
That doesn't.
It's just like the skin.
Oh,
It's just the skin.
Here it's baked sausage skin. How does that work?
It's baked sausage casings. Meatless sausage crumbles. I don't know. And then a vegan tzatziki sauce.
How do you do vegan sauce like that? Because that's, I mean, like yogurt is like the basis for that stuff to begin with.
Yeah. They have a taste of Greek, which is chicken feta cheese dip with warm pita and lamb sausage with a dill tomato ragu. I don't know about the ragu, but I like lamb and I like sausage.
Yeah.
They also have a Greek spinach pie, and they have a warm dough strudel with sweet vanilla custard, lemon honey syrup, and cinnamon. They are also offering 3 different wines and a entire wine flight, if that so does your pickles. We have Hawaii. We have pork sliders with sweet and sour Dole pineapple century spicy mayonnaise, a grilled tuna tataki with seaweed salad, pickled cucumbers, and wasabi cream. They've got a glazed Spam hash with potatoes, peppers, onions, and spicy mayonnaise, and a passion fruit cheesecake with toasted macadamia nuts.
No.
They love their Spam in Hawaii.
No. I can't do it. I can't.
I'll try the Spam.
I just can't. Well, although, okay, to answer a question, Kurt actually makes mention. He says meatless crumbles are normally made with soy and tofu.
Nope, never mind. I'm good. They got the Maui Brewing Company, the Bikini Blonde Lager, a Florida Orange Grove sparkling pineapple wine, and a Mai Tai with Sailor Jerry spice rum and Dole Whip pineapple juice. I would try that. Okay. Hops and barley. I'm sorry, were we going to say something?
No, sorry. I accidentally cleared my throat without hitting the mute button.
Hops and barley. We have a New England lobster roll. Warm lobster with fresh herb mayonnaise and griddled roll. I'll take that. We have a New Brunswick slider, slow braised beef brisket, pot roast style with horseradish cream and crispy fried onions on a potato roll with pickled vegetables on the side. This almost sounds like a meal. Fresh baked carrot cake and cream cheese icing.
Yeah, that's a good simple. That's a good simple sweet and a little bit savory. You know, if they do
that right. Lobster roll sounds banging. Let's see, we have a handful of beers here, and then also includes a beer flight. One beer is also from New York. It's an Angry Orchard Rose Hard Cider. India. Ooh, I can get in trouble in India.
Are you a big curry person?
Warm Indian. What?
Are you a big curry person?
I love curry.
Really?
Warm Indian bread with pickled garlic, mango salsa, with pesto dip. They've got a red curry with roasted cauliflower, baby carrots, chickpeas over rice. And they have a korma chicken with cucumber tomato salad, almonds, cashews, and a warm naan bread. Going back to the curry one, I like green curry. So I would be interested in trying the red curry, but once again, that would be something that someone else would have to eat most of it, so I feel like I'm not going to like it. They have a mango lassi, which is non-alcoholic. You like red curry? Oh, you were waving to somebody.
No. I was saying I would. I like curry, and I've been kind of experimenting with it ever since I got like all the recipes for the bread service at Sanaa, and I tried making some of the dips, including one with curry. And the interesting part is my friend, I thought I didn't do it well enough. And I had some friends that actually tried it and they're like, oh yeah, it's really super good. So yeah, I would definitely, if you don't like it, I would try it.
I'm perfectly clear on my side, but when I go on the screen, I'm not clear. So annoying. All right. Anyway, we have a guy and a few more beers. They also have an Indian cream liqueur, which sounded interesting. Moving over to Ireland. Hey, if you like your things boiled, you're good to go. Sorry, I don't like Irish food. Roasted Irish sausage with potatoes and onions gravy, Irish cheddar cheese, and stout dip with Irish brown bread, and a warm chocolate pudding with Irish cream liqueur and custard.
Okay.
Let's see. They have a Guinness extra stout, a honey wine, and a Guinness Bailey shake. Okay. Islands of the Caribbean. Ooh. They've got a ropa empanada with tomato aioli, a jerk spiced chicken lollipop with roasted sweet plantain salad and mango chutney yogurt. Okay. They also have a puff pastry with sweetened cream cheese and guava sauce. They have a red stripe lager, which I will be participating in, a Caribbean white sangria, and a frozen mojito.
Really, Red Stripe? You would actually drink that? I like
it.
Really? Okay.
Italy. Now, I mean, sounds good, but whether I try it or not, that's a whole different story. We have a crispy shrimp, zucchini, and sweet potato with spicy sauce. That sounds good. I don't know how you mess that up. Braised chicken thigh, mushrooms, tomatoes, and Parmesan polenta. We have a vodka sauce with crispy pancetta and Parmesan cheese. And then for dessert, which I will probably try, it's a cannoli filled with ricotta and chocolate and candied fruit.
Oh, if nothing else, I'm there for the dessert.
Yeah, right. Once again, they have a few beers. They're really, if you like a dry wine, make sure you hit up Italy. They have a lot. They've got 2 really good Pinot Grigios. Another place where I feel like me and Chris will spend some good time in would be Japan.
Yeah, probably. They've
got a teriyaki chicken bun, steamed bun filled with chicken, vegetables, and sweet teriyaki sauce. They've got beef topped with shrimp sauce and diced pickled jalapenos. And then they have a spicy roll, which is pretty good. It's tuna and salmon topped with volcano sauce.
That stuff is bomb. Yeah. That stuff is so good.
It's so good. They also have 2 beers, and they have an apple cocktail sake, peach schnapps, and green apple syrup. Moving on around, something that was newer last couple of years is the Light Lab. Basically, it's just all drinks. They've got it's basically for the gimmick. It's what you go there for. They've got an ultraviolet, an infrared drink, a blue spectrum. They've got a couple hard ciders. It looks like a blueberry peppercorn hard cider, berry hard cider, a red cherry tart cider. We also have a blueberry golden ale, and they also have a cider flight and an RGB flight. Moving on over to Mexico, we have short ribs, corn tortilla topped with short ribs, black beans, salsa verde, and spring onion. We have a shrimp quesadilla, corn tortilla with shrimp, cheese topped with a spicy sauce and sesame seeds. We also have a coconut rice pudding served with mangoes. Going to their drinks, they've got a Dos Equis, a couple margaritas, a red wine, and a blackberry Mexican punch.
Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay thirsty. When I'm not saving the world. Morocco. Morocco. That's favorite. Right next to Belgium, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
You do know that Morocco is in northern Africa, right?
I'm talking about a World Showcase.
Well, I don't know the map for that, but the way you
I'm
made
pretty sure Belgium is right next to Morocco, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong now. Morocco, we've got a seasoned ground beef with pita pocket. They've got hummus fries with cucumber, tomato, and onions on a tzatziki sauce.
Is that like wait? Hummus fries? Is that like French fries with hummus on top, or actually like French fries that are like formed out of like hummus chickpeas and stuff like that?
I would almost assume it's hummus that's deep fried. They just put a little batter on the outside. I don't know. Okay. We've got a chocolate rolled pilo dough toast with almonds and dark chocolate sauce. They also have a red wine, a sparkling wine, a sangria, and a pale lager. Moving on over to New Zealand, we've got steamed green lip mussels with garlic butter and toasted breadcrumbs. This is something I will be getting here, which is a lamb meatball with spicy tomato chutney. It's very good. Very good. Highly recommend that. They've got a seared venison sausage with puree and wild mushroom marsala sauce. I know people who have gotten them, and they rave about this venison.
My mouth just watered. I love venison. I just don't get it anymore.
Yeah. We also have a Sauvignon Blanc, a Pinot Noir, and another Sauvignon Blanc. Moving over to the Shimmering Sips Mimosa Bar. So you ladies out there, how you doing? We've got a chocolate croissant, flaky croissant stuffed with chocolate. We've got an almond croissant with flaky croissant topped with toasted almonds. We have jumbo blueberry muffin strudel topping, cheese Danish with sweet icing. I will partaking a few of those. For beverages, non-alcoholic, we have a frozen apple pie. That sounds good. We've got a tropical mimosa with sparkling wine, pomegranate, orange, and grapefruit. A key lime mimosa with key lime, sparkling wine, and cranberry juice.
Yes, please.
Blood orange. I know the girls go crazy for that one. Mimosa with sparkling wine and blood orange juice. We also have a mimosa with cranberry, sparkling wine, and orange juice. A Fromosa, frozen mimosa featuring White Claw lime hard seltzer. And here's a good one. Joffrey's cold brew coffee. It's good. Have you ever had their cold brew?
I have not. You know what? I have not done a cold brew at all. Excuse me, at all this summer. I've wanted to.
I'm shocked.
I really haven't. I've been just brewing it like normal, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, you're inside. Like I just bought during Amazon Prime Day. I actually bought a cold brew.
Oh, okay.
Like the container, $20. I haven't tried it out yet, but I've been drinking a lot of cold brew. I just figured when you were in Disney. I mean, I drink coffee like it's going out of style. So when I'm at home, I either drink while I'm on the road, I drink gas station coffee. But if I'm at home, I either drink, of course, Expedition Roasters. That's no joke. It's not like a plug for them. I do drink them. I've just been out of them and I haven't reordered yet. I drink my Folgers. But when I'm at Disney, I drink a lot of Joffrey's, and they have a really good iced coffee.
I've got to tell you, now that I think about it, because we didn't really eat breakfast all that much while we're out there, I really didn't drink a lot of coffee. I don't think I really had any coffee until the day that we were leaving. We got a big pot of it over at Olivia's at Little Key West. I think that was that was shame on me. That was the only coffee I had the entire time. No wonder I had headaches.
I'd like to go there if we have time.
Where? Olivia's?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all for it, man. They have not only
I've never eaten there.
Not only do they have a banana bread French toast that is absolutely fabulous. They have a crab cake key lime eggs Benedict, where it's like traditional eggs Benedict, but instead of Canadian bacon, they have a nice crab cake, and there is key lime in the hollandaise sauce. I actually tried to recreate that this past weekend, and came pretty darn close. And boy, man, was that good. I had that this past time, and it was absolutely fabulous. And they have cheesy grits. Oh my gosh, they've got the best cheesy grits ever. Just gotta say.
Oh, a Kona press pot is good too.
Oh my gosh, I have to agree with Faith on that. The Kona press pot it's amazing. It really is excellent.
See, am I the only one who just doesn't like standard like value hotel coffee?
I can't stand.
Okay, I just think it's bad.
No, here's the deal, and I'm not. Again, I'm telling this as the truth. This is unsolicited. The fact of the matter is that ever since I started drinking Expedition Roasters, I have been very spoiled. I can't drink, that particular, National Bucks brand of coffee because it's too bitter. And quite honestly, I've tried others, that I happen to have still in stock here at home, and it just doesn't cut it. So, I mean, at Disney, obviously they serve a lot of Joffrey's, and it's really good, and I'll drink it there. But this past trip, I really missed my Expedition Roasters coffee. And that was like one of the first things I did when I got home the next morning was like, I think I broke out some Bob Slayer's brew, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is so good. Anyway, again,
back to that. We're on Spain. We have a cone with imported Spanish meats. Say no more. Cheeses and olives with a herb vinaigrette. All right. I'll take 2.
Sure.
We have a Spanish style paella with
paella.
What?
Paella.
That's how you spell paella?
Mm-hmm. It's very good. Usually it's very, very good. It's a very traditional Spanish dish.
And it's got chorizo and roasted chicken on it. Have you ever had chorizo? Chorizo is delicious.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, when I make a jambalaya, I use chorizo in my jambalaya.
Wow. Yeah. We also have a seafood salad with shrimp, bay scallops, mussels, extra virgin olive oil, white balsamic vinegar, and smoked paprika.
Ooh,
all right.
That sounds very complex. It sounds
Spain
good.
is killing it.
I'll tell you this right now.
All of them.
If my daughter was there, she would be like hitting Spain all the time. She loves Spanish food, and it comes from when she was in Spain for studying overseas, studying abroad. She absolutely came home. She was like, I love going to Spain for food. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah.
And it looks like they're not serving any beers, but they have a wine. Oh, no, excuse me. They have 3 beers on tap, and they also have a wine flight is also available. Moving over to Thailand, we have a marinated chicken with peanut sauce and stir-fried vegetable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A seared shrimp and scallop cake with cold noodle salad. Okay.
I could do with that.
Ooh, this sounds good, right? For this, red hot spicy Thai curry beef with steamed rice.
Oh yeah, count me in.
Yep.
But what kind of beverages do they have there? Because that spicy beef on the end there, that's going to require something to wash it down.
Hopefully, we're gonna get some water because they have a Singhala lager and a Mason William, and ready for the spelling? GEWU with the 2 little dots on top. ZTRAMINER.
Gesundheit.
That's as close as I would be getting to.
Sorry, you lost me at the U with the dots over it.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, no disrespect.
Point.
Huh?
There's no skewers in Spain this year. Very true point. We also have a wine and dine studio. Seared scallops, truffled celery root puree, Brussels sprouts with wild mushrooms featuring Melissa's produce. No, thank you. I don't like Brussels sprouts.
See, you know what? I would do that because of the Brussels sprouts. Yeah. And at the same time, you ever notice that there's actually several places that are actually going for the scallops this year?
Oh, yeah, scallops are huge this year. This one I would try. A butternut squash ravioli with brown butter, vinaigrette, Parmesan cheese, and pumpkin seeds.
Oh, that's a definite must try. Yeah.
We have a trio of artisan cheese featuring a bunch of cheeses that I can't pronounce, but I do see that one is a gorgonzola, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
They also have an artiste palate and wine cheese. It's all 3 of those cheeses with a Pinot Noir, a Chardonnay, and a Spellbound Petite Sierra. They also offer a Chardonnay, another Pinot Noir, and also that Syrah on the back end. Additional festival locations. We have Block and Hans. They only are serving beverages, and it's all IPA beers. We also have a Fife and Drum serving a beer. We have the Funnel Cake serving a maple bacon funnel cake topped with Canadian bacon.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say this. One time they tried to do the whole maple frosting bacon on top of a cupcake. It was like a maple bacon cupcake. And usually they say that anything, basically bacon makes anything taste better. No, not in this case. I don't even know if I'd try that.
We also have a Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. We have the American Adventure, where they're going to be offering a Fire and Ice. It's a frozen lemon with Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
Ooh.
That sounds kind of good.
That
in Canada, They've got the Riviera Sunrise, which is a frozen orange pineapple with Grand Marnier.
That sounds very sweet.
Sounds good. Showcase Plaza, we've got the Wild Goose, frozen wild berry with Grey Goose vodka. Okay. And Future World East, they have the Fast Lane, frozen cappuccino with brown jug bourbon cream.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
All right, if you go to this place, I'm gonna smack somebody. The Refreshment Outpost has a spicy hot dog with mustard sauce.
What's a spicy hot dog?
I don't know. I don't know. They also have a Baines Cape Mountain Whiskey frozen Coke.
See, there's too much sugar in that.
I'm just passing that one. We have the Refreshment Port, where they're going to be offering a beef brisket poutine, which is French fries with beef brisket, beer cheese sauce, and poutine gravy topped with crispy onions. I will be getting that.
Well, our friend Stan would
love that. Yeah,
would totally love that, and would love the fact that you want to try that. So, Stan, if you're listening, I give Danny some credit on that one, my friend. I'd actually try that too. I actually have been wanting to try a good poutine.
Let's see. Sweet potato poutine, sweet potato fries with caramel sauce, mini marshmallows, and pecans.
Hold the marshmallows and I'm good.
Pineapple soft serve ice cream and pineapple soft serve ice cream with Bacardi coconut rum. and to drink, they've got a dragon berry refreshment featuring Bacardi dragon berry rum.
Ooh. Oh.
Over at the Taste Track, we've got a croissant donut with cinnamon sugar, another one with chocolate and marshmallow, another one with chocolate hazelnut cream, or just a croissant donut with sprinkles. You can add chocolate, hazelnut, white chocolate, raspberry, or vanilla bean gelato for an additional charge. They also have a pancake milkshake. What is a pancake milkshake, and why have I never had this? It's got to be chunky. There better be chunks of pancake in there. I'm going to be very upset.
So going back to the whole idea about trying to figure out how we're going to get down there, now I think we have to.
How we get home? I'm not going to fit in the seat.
Yeah.
We also have to round it out here.
I need an extender. 2 of them, please.
I need 2 to hook on to each other. We have the chocolate experience from Bean to the Bar, hosted by Ghoulish Chocolate Company. We've got a Bonfi Rosa Regal sparkling red and a drinking chocolate non-alcoholic.
That actually all sounds really good. I don't know if I'd be able to partake in that much chocolate, but I think that all sounds really good.
There was a lot of things on here that I would stay far away from. There was even a couple booths where I would probably stay away from. But overall, I'm excited. There is a lot of really good things.
Aaron just mentioned, he's like, the pancake milkshake is just like drinking the pancake batter.
So do you want to take my money now or later? I mean, I could just write you guys a check now, Disney, if that suits you better, and I will gladly just mail it. And I will write in payable of pancake milkshakes, and I will leave it blank. And you let me know when we've had enough. And no, I will not tell you when I've had enough. You will tell me when we've had enough.
Is this the point where I say, hey, Aaron, should we try to figure out how to make a pancake milkshake? And sometime during the Indie Disney meet, we go into the back room and say, okay, let's try to do this and see what people think. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, man. All right. So some solid menu options.
Yeah. I mean, and also a lot of really good drink ideas as well. The fact of the matter is that I think I would try almost anything at any booth. There may be a couple booths that just are just not my style, but I think I would try almost anything that you mentioned. There are some things also that, I've had before, or maybe I'm just not a big fan of, but my gosh.
I would almost prefer to walk around the entire place early and eat everything walk it off, and then go around and drink it.
Well, I think actually that's not a bad idea. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you start right when rope drop happens for World Showcase, and
At 11?
yeah, and you just slowly start eating your way around the world. And the thing is, it would probably take you. I bet you any money it would take us until 5 o'clock.
Oh, you think you're gonna say that long?
Yeah, I mean, because I think we need to. Because we're not going to be able to just go running from one place to another. We're going to have to.
No, you want to take your time. I mean, you got to think about it. And I hate using this word, but being Disney influenced, no, we're not going to go with that word. Being podcasters, essentially, we're going to have to take a picture of every booth, every menu, every item, and then you're going to have to taste. And then we're going to have to record why we like it, what we don't like, what we taste. And then it's going to shut the camera off, and then me and you are going to go back and forth. We're going to eat it. And then more than likely, they're both big guys and be like, man, let's just go get one more real quick. And then we're going to start the list of, okay, what are the things we need to hit later because we want to eat it again?
Well, yeah, but I also think that you actually were on the right track. We are Disney influencers when it comes to this, and I think people are going to want to hear what we have to say. I mean, we talk about food all the time. We might as well put our food where their mouth is. And, really let people know what it's like. I mean, we're going to be going live for almost every booth, just to, have everybody see what's there. And who knows, when we go for a second day, we may have people tell us, hey, you tell us what you want us to eat, whether or not we like it or not. I'm not saying
we'd have to go to one of the booths where we both know, like, okay, we can eat anything at this booth and it'd be fine. Because if you go to one of those booths where like there's like barely one thing on there, I'm gonna be eating some seafood, tofu, skinless, meatless sausage or something.
Well, we have to put some rules down, like, we can't eat anything that we're allergic to, or we know that is not going to be a very pretty sight about 45 minutes later. Yeah. The drinking part to it is going to be a little more subdued, because there is no way that we can actually drink. I can be careful how I say this. There's no way that we're going to be able to drink around the world and be able to stand up straight afterwards. Well, maybe you. But
I was going to say, I've done it.
You probably would. Me, no. I'm going to probably just enjoy letting you try different things. I can't.
You know what it is, though? With as short of a trip as we're talking about doing, it's not worth me getting loaded, because then the next day, Chris is a very early riser, especially at Disney. And if you're sharing a room with Chris, even if you're not an early riser, you become an early riser.
Hey, man, when we were at the Indie Disney meet last year, I let you sleep. I let you sleep while I went into the other room of the hotel and just kind of did the thing and this.
And I woke up in a panic. Like, wait, where am I?
Don't worry, man. I got you covered. No, it's dude, I know we're talking about it, and yeah, I know that we're filling in our listeners as to what the possibility of this happening is. And I really hope that our listeners also don't get disappointed if for some reason we can't actually make it out there. Because, let's face it. I mean, I've already done my 2 trips that I budgeted for. And, there are different things that Danny and I have to do in order to try to make this happen. And we are going to end up sacrificing some things on our personal sides in order to try to do this. But we'll find out within the next week to week and a half or so what our possibilities are, and we hope to be able to do this. We think that would be really, really, really sweet to be able to try to do this. Yeah, Danny, I don't think there's anything there that there's not much on the menus that I would not try at least once. I need something, maybe nothing with tofu in it. And
yeah, I don't think there was really a booth where there was plenty of booths where you kind of gave me a look like, I wouldn't try anything. There's a couple of booths where I was like, I wouldn't try anything. But I don't recall there being any booths this year where we both said, no, there's nothing on it that had food. Yeah, because there were some booths that only had liquor that we were both like, I kind of sped through them, because honestly, if we do this and we go down, we'll try some of the alcoholic beverages, but this is basically for food. Let's be real. It's really the food festival for us.
Yeah, it really is. But Danny, I don't have anything else. I'm glad that we did this for our Feature Thursday event. This was really, seriously, there were times in my mouth was just watering.
And I apologize for butchering and not being able to read half the menu. I read at like a 7th grade level, so my apologies. But take us away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that whole 7th grade reading level thing. Huh?
It's never good.
Yeah, I lost my mouse, so hold on.
Where'd it go?
You heard the show, and we hope you want more. Well, feel free to join us over at our social media platforms. Instagram and our Facebook page can be found at Behind the Ears Podcast. Our webpage is behindtheearspodcast.net, and our email is behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. And our Twitter handle is @BehindTheEarsPC. And come and join the conversation about all things Disney over at the WDW community page. Don't forget to rate and review the show over at iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as it really helps us get the word out about the show. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or the Podbean app. Also, you can listen to us on Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and via Alexa and Google Home.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. I'm glad I wore my stretchy pants tonight, because even though I just read a menu, I felt like I packed on a few of those calories. With that being said, everybody, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. Like Chris said, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. If you could tell, we are starting to ramp up our Instagram and Twitter a little bit more. So definitely, if you have not checked out those two places, make sure you do. With that being said, everybody, I am Uncle Danny. Tuck your kids in tight, wear your seatbelts, drink your cranberry juice. Until next week.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight. This was definitely, well, I don't want to say eye-opening, other than, wow, we were going to have to try some food. That was just great. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Join us again next time, but until we meet again, I hope you have an absolutely magical day. Take care.